Is your stash a nightmare? Or are you constantly running out of space in both your stash and your secure container? Well, in this video, we're going to fix that. Hey guys, I'm Ghost and welcome back to Tarkov University. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most underrated skills in Escape from Tarkov, stash management. Trust me, knowing how to organize your stash efficiently is not a waste of your time. This will actually save you time and have you looting and shooting in raids rather than playing Tetris in your stash. We are also going to cover some of the ways that you can upgrade your secure container, since that holds the gear and loot that you won't want to lose if you go down in a raid. Let's get into it. First, before we get into any of this, please note that I am in no way, shape, or form sponsored by or partnered with Battlestate Games. Everything I'm about to say is going to be my 100% raw opinion with no strings attached. So as I was saying, first of all, if you bought the standard edition, you will be playing Escape from Tarkov at a severe disadvantage from everybody else. You're going to begin the game with a stash that is a mere 10 by 30 in size. This is absurdly small. Let's first discuss how you can expand your stash size the free way. To upgrade your stash size to level 2, you will need to pay 2.5 million rubles and have 4 100ml WD-40s, 1 found in raid hand drill, 5 found in raid pack of nails, and have leveled up your vents to level 1. To get your vents to level 1, this just requires you to pay 25,000 rubles. Getting to level 2 should be simple enough, and this will give you an additional 10 cells to work with. Now to upgrade your stash to level 3, you will need to pay 8.5 million rubles and have 2 found in raid electric drills, 15 packs of screws, 7 found in raid packs of nails, Pepper level 3, Ragman level 3, and have upgraded your vents and heating to both level 2. This is honestly where, in my opinion, things start to get a little silly. Ragman won't have reached level 3 until you reach level 32, and this is going to take a very long time. We're talking weeks and weeks of gaming, many hours a day, and this is even if you're hyper efficient with your tasks. You will find all of these items during that time, but this is still an insane roadblock for most players. It is possible, but just know that this is a giant hurdle. To reach the last upgrade stage of your stash, you're going to need to pay 200,000 euros, which is the equivalent of 33.6 million rubles in game. To me, this is honestly a joke. Most players will never achieve this kind of wealth in the game, but if you want, you can shoot for it. In addition to the cash, you're also going to need Peacekeeper and Ragman both to be level 4, which essentially means that you need to be level 42. This is again not something that most players will ever reach in Tarkov. If you have the PvE version, this is much more reasonable since you can take your time. If since the release of 1.0 the game will no longer wipe, you can also reach this over time. But if the game continues wiping everyone's account every 6 months, then this will essentially be impossible unless you're a streamer or something like that. Now, assuming you do come up with the 33.6 million rubles that you need for that upgrade, you're also going to need 10 screw nuts, 10 bolts, 8 Shastrillo ceiling foams, 2 found in raid ratchet wrenches, a level 2 intelligence center, and your generator, workbench, and heating modules all upgraded to level 3. If you manage to meet these steep requirements, then you'll be rewarded with a stash size of 10 by 68 cells. Now, if you bought the Left Behind edition, you'll begin with a Secure Container Alpha, which has 2 by 2 cells, but you'll also have a slightly larger stash size of 10 by 40 cells. If you bought the Prepare for Escape edition, you will have the Beta Container that is 3 by 2, and your stash size will be 10 by 50. And lastly, if you bought the Unheard edition or the old Edge of Darkness edition like I did, you'll begin with a Secure Container Gamma, which is 3 by 3, and you'll have the maximum stash size of 10 by 72 cells. I don't know how to sugarcoat this. If you bought a cheaper version of the game, you will be at a severe disadvantage due to your stash size. I bought the Edge of Darkness edition about 6 years ago, so I've had the advantage of the increased stash size in Gamma Container, and I still run out of space early wipe. Now, I have thousands of hours in this game, so I think it was well worth the investment. If you think about it, most games nowadays cost around $70 and they won't even give you 100 hours of playtime. Some of them don't even give you half that. Escape from Tarkov gives you so much more than that, so I would recommend investing in a better edition of the game if you see the value and can safely afford it. Now let's talk about some stash management tips and tricks regardless of which edition you bought. When you begin, you won't have any storage cases, so what I like to do is keep the largest rigs I can at the bottom of my stash and put items inside them. I will have a rig for my meds, my ammo, quest items, etc. When you find a larger rig, just swap it out with a smaller one. In terms of what to sell, I recommend holding on to all medication, single or double slot weapon attachments like flashlights, optics, and foregrips. This way you won't have to spend your own rubles and you can use these attachments for your own weapons. I also like to hold on to any item that I'll need for hideout upgrades and any item that's going to be used for a quest later on. Clever way to maximize the space weapons take up in your stash is to remove the pistol grip and the magazine. This doesn't work always, but this can sometimes cut a weapon's footprint in half, and don't forget to fold the stock too if that's an option. The first trick I'm going to mention is to insure all of your gear. Now, if you insure your gear before a raid, you can ditch it for better gear that you find in raid, and then you get that gear you ditched back in 48 hours. You'll also get that insured gear back if you fail to extract, assuming no player picks it up. Now, why this is a trick and why this helps with stash management is that after a few days of doing this, you're going to have a healthy amount of gear available outside of your stash. All of the returned gear is going to be stored and saved in your returned insurance pool. Now check this out. This gear is what was returned to me from raids where I upgraded mid-raid or failed to extract. There's so much gear here that I couldn't fit it in my stash even if I wanted to. So when I'm gearing up for my next raid, I like to go to this screen and then just alt left click whatever I need to throw it directly onto my PMC. Note that this gear cannot sit here forever and it will expire and disappear if you don't claim it in time. I haven't found this to be an issue if you play the game consistently. The second trick I'm going to mention is to upgrade the modules inside your hideout. You can gain access to a weapon rack and a gear rack inside your hideout. Both of these are going to allow you to store tons and tons of large items. The weapon rack is particularly useful and can easily hold 12 to 20 weapons depending on your size, and the mannequins you get with the gear rack are great for holding your armors, rigs, helmets, headsets, and even a few more weapons. Now let's move on to talk about some cases. As soon as you can, you're going to want to get some cases for your stash. Some cases can be found in marked rooms, but that's RNG. You can farm mark rooms if you want, but we're going to discuss the more reliable ways to obtain cases. The first case you'll want is the lucky Scav Junkbox. This is a 14 by 14 case that only takes up 4 by 4 cells in your stash. Very useful. The lucky Scav Junkbox can be purchased from Therapist Level 1 for around 1.1 million rubles. This case is going to be used to store all of your barter items. I usually buy a second one when the first one fills up. Next, you're going to want to purchase the key storage case as soon as you can. You can buy this case from Therapist Level 2. It's a small 3x2 case that has a whopping 11x7 storage space for keys. If you didn't know, keys open locked rooms in Tarkov and are necessary for accessing some of the best loot in the game as well as quest areas. The next priority case is going to be a medicine case, and that can be acquired a couple different ways. The first way, and typically the way that I do it, is to barter with Therapist Level 2. All she's going to want is 7 medical blood sets, 7 disposable syringes, 2 Vaselines, and 4 medical tools. You can acquire all of these as you play, and none need to be found in raid when you do the barter. The second way is to buy a medicine case from Therapist Level 3 for about 550,000 rubles. As of the making of this video, Therapist will give you a medicine case for completing Healthcare Privacy Part 5, Colleagues Part 3, Crisis, and Beneath the Streets. The medicine case has 7x7 slots and only takes up 3x3 cells. I usually keep at least 2 to 4 of these. The next priority case is the ammo case. You can barter for this with Mechanical Level 1 by offering 2 cans of Thermite and 2 Green Eagle gunpowders after completing Gunsmith Part 5. You can also get ammo cases from quests such as Big Customer and Samples. Another way to get ammo cases is purchase them from Mechanical Level 2 after you complete Gunsmith Part 10. And then Ref also sells the ammo case for GP coins if you can get them to Level 2. The magazine case is critical to store your spare mags. These can be purchased from a few of the traders such as Mechanic Level 3 after you complete the Shooter Born in Heaven quest. But honestly, the easiest way to get these quickly is to upgrade your laboratory to level 2 and then just craft them. The craft is going to require 1 metal cutting scissors, 2 expeditionary fuel tanks, 4 bolts, and 4 screw nuts. None of these need to be found in raid, and you should have empty fuel tanks lying around anyway. This is a good use for them once they run out of fuel in the generator. Up next is the Mr. Holodilnick thermal bag. This blue case is where you store all of your food items to refuel before raids. You can barter with Jaeger Level 2 for this by offering him 10 cans of Hot Rod, 5 cans of Tarcola, 5 cans of Herring, and 5 cans of Squash. I usually just buy these on the flea market and then barter them to Jaeger when I'm ready. The Dogtag case is one I highly recommend grabbing whenever you can. This is a single slot case that can hold up to 100 dog tags and is easily the best way to store them. It also is a real achievement to fill up one of these. Next is going to be the grenade case. You can obtain a grenade case by completing Chemical Part 4, but I actually highly recommend not turning that quest into anyone other than Therapist. If you turn the quest into her, she's going to give you an injector case, which is far more valuable than a grenade case. The easiest way to get a grenade case is to just craft it with Laboratory Level 2. The cost to craft this is similar to the magazine case: 1 metal cutting scissors, 2 metal fuel tanks, 5 screw nuts, 5 bolts, and 2 metal parts. Once you have all the cases mentioned above, I recommend picking up a money case. You can either just buy one of these on flea market, which is what I typically do, or you can barter with therapist level 4 for one. Like I said, the easiest way in my opinion is to just buy a money case on the flea. The next 4 cases are harder to obtain, but you should eventually add them to your stash. The weapons case has a small 5x2 footprint and provides 50 slots for weapons and attachments like scopes and suppressors. The easiest way to obtain one of these is through quests. You're going to receive a weapons case from completing Huntsman Path Eraser Part 1, Hunter, Special Equipment, and Gunsmith Part 25. There are tons of ways to barter for a weapon case, but honestly the cheapest and most accessible way is a barter that you'll see with the Jaeger level 4. The upgraded version of this is the THICC weapons case. This is a huge upgrade. You can receive 2 of these for completing Perfect Mediator and choose your friends wisely. Apart from quests, the easiest way to obtain one of these is by trading 2 weapons cases, 4 ammo cases, and 10 metal spare parts to Jaeger level 4. Next up is the items case. The easiest way to get one of these is by bartering 10 ophthalmoscopes and 25 pile of meds to therapist level 3. The second easiest way to do this is to just pay her the 15,500 euros. Item cases are great for storing armor and helmets, so I definitely recommend you get these. The last case we're going to discuss is the coveted THICC item case. This thing is massive, and it's going to help you by providing 196 inventory slots while only taking up 15. The THICC items case is a huge improvement over the regular item case, and you can obtain one yourself by completing Therapist Quest Private Clinic. And I honestly recommend you just do that quest if you want to get this case because the barters are incredibly steep. And lastly, we're going to talk about what you should be doing with your secure containers. Secure containers are so important in Tarkov. Anything placed inside will not be lost if you fail to extract from a raid. Your secure container is where you should be placing your keys, meds, cash for car extracts, and any juicy loot that you manage to find in a raid. If you bought the cheapest version of the game, then you're only going to have a 2x2 container. You can get a larger 2x4 secure container Epsilon just by completing the Punisher quest line that's given to you by Prepper. If you choose to continue doing quests, then the largest secure container, that is the Kappa, can be yours. The secure container Kappa is 4x3 slots and is the largest secure container in the entire game. Since the space inside your secure container is so limited, let's discuss some options for utility containers that can go inside of there to basically expand your space. The most common item you'll find early is the wallet. The wallet is a single slot item that opens up to 4 slots. You can place all types of currency inside your wallet, including keycards, and you can obtain wallets easily by killing scavs and just searching their pockets or backpacks. The next item you're really going to want early wipe is the Gingy keychain. This is a single slot item that can hold up to 4 keys. Now, since they're a streamer item, Gingy keychains are going to be less common than wallets, but they can still be found by searching scav pockets and their backpacks. In my opinion, the absolute best item to upgrade from these is going to be the Docs case. The Docs case is king. It is a 2-slot item that holds up to 16 slots. Inside your Docs case, you could place currency, intel items like intelligence folders, diaries, flash drives, SAS drives, and SSD drives. You can also place a keycard holder, both keys and keycards, maps, posters, bitcoins, and the Veritas guitar pick. You can obtain a Docs case as a quest reward by completing Punisher Part 5, Nostalgia, and All is Revealed. You can also get one by bartering 1 cat, 1 bronze lion, and 4 horse figurines to Therapist Level 2, or just by buying one on the flea market. I typically like to buy my Docs cases on the flea market. As the wipe progresses, I'll typically get a few of them. I think it's very convenient to have a Docs case for each map that you're going to frequent the most. You can save a lot of time by doing this so you're not constantly swapping out keys for each map. And if you look here, you can even label them individually for your convenience. The injector case is a single slot item that holds up to 9 stims. In my opinion, the injector case is a must-have for 2 reasons. First, stims in Tarkov can save your life and bail you out of difficult situations, so as the wipe progresses, you should have one of these in your kit. If you're unfamiliar with stims, check out the link on the screen to my guide on the best and worst stims in Tarkov. The second reason is that stims sell both on the flea market and to vendors for a lot of rubles. As you find stims throughout your raids, you can just throw them into the injector case, and if you fail to extract, you're going to still have some loot that you can vendor for rubles. You can barter with Therapist Level 4 for an injector case by offering 20 medical tools, 15 disposable syringes, and 12 bottles of hydrogen peroxide. But as mentioned before, I think the best way to get one is by completing the early quest out of curiosity. If you turn that quest into Therapist, she's going to reward you with an injector case. The last case we're going to talk about here is the SICC organizational case. The SICC case is a 2-slot pouch similar to the Docs case, but instead it holds up to 25 items instead of just 16. The SICC pouch is great for gold items, so if you're rushing gold spawns or farming a lot of marked rooms, this is the case you're going to want to have. Unlike the Docs case, the SICC pouch can hold a pro kill medallion, gold skull rings, and dog tags. Use whichever case you prefer depending on what the loot is that you're targeting. You can also get a keycard case and a pistol case, but these aren't great in my opinion unless you're specifically going to be running labs. If you're not running labs, keycards can just be stored in the Docs case or SICC pouch, and that will be totally fine. If you are running a lot of labs and you have 3, 4, 5, or more keycards, then go ahead and grab yourself a keycard case and consolidate them into a single slot. And that is your complete stash management and secure container guide for 2025 in Escape from Tarkov. If this guide helped you out, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Tarkov content. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other tips and tricks that I didn't mention here. If you have any more questions or are looking to find squad mates to run some raids with, feel free to join our Discord, the link is in the description. As always, thanks for watching, I'm Ghost, and I'll see you in the next raid.